Welcome, welcome. This is Gabe Hernandez, publisher and EIC for ComicalOpinions.com. I'm recording from a super secret squirrel location, but I did want to make sure that I got this video out to everyone this week because it was something that I'd promised, and there's something that I think that's going to be valuable for folks as far as independent creators who are trying to sell their comic and trying to uh, just get the thing in the hands of people who want to read it, but are just sort of intimidated by technology and how do I do Kickstarter and Indiegogo and how do I do um, Patreon and all these other platforms where sometimes the technology is just seems overwhelming and intimidating. And the response that I sort of had to that when I started hearing that feedback was, even if you wanted to go with those platforms, that's fine. But at the same time, if you can go very simple, very basic with free tools that don't require a lot of setup, that don't require a lot of complicated know-how. And I said, how stripped down and how basic can we go to give people a way to create a payment platform where you can sell a comic to somebody just by giving them a link. There is some manual work involved, but if all you can do is just give somebody a link saying, if you want my comic here, click on this link, fill out the form, and you're good to go. Sometimes that's all that's needed. And we, in this kind of this world where everything is apps and everything is websites, folks just tend to get overwhelmed and feel it's too complicated and you have to learn all these different systems. And I said, let me give you a very simple, very rudimentary and free way to do that. And so we're just going to step through right now. You really only need two types of accounts to do this. First, you need a Gmail account or a Google account. They're free, they're easy. Pretty much everyone has one at this point. But if you don't, you just go to google.com or gmail.com, I should say. If I sign up for a free email account, and then you're good to go. It's just an email account, just like any other. The second thing you'll need is you will need a payment processor. But the one we're going to do today is PayPal. So sometimes folks have had troubles with PayPal in the past. For something like this, it's very simple, very straightforward. When you sign up for a PayPal account, make sure that you sign up for, and if you sign up for a PayPal account, it's a regular account or a personal account, convert it over to a business account. Just go up in the settings and say, make this changes to a business account. So you need a Google or a Gmail account and a PayPal business account. Both of them are free, don't cost you anything. You just sign up for them, and that's all you need. Okay, so this is going to break down into two parts. The first part is once you have the Gmail account, you're going to go to docs.google.com/forms. Forms and Google Docs and all these things are free for people who have Gmail accounts. Absolutely free. So go to docs.google.com/forms, and you can see it up on the screen. And I'll also put this in the notes down below. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a new form. So this, again, the service is free. All it is a way for Google to allow people to create online forms that they can give out to people and submit to people so that they can fill stuff out. So right now in front of you, you see all I've done is I've clicked on the big plus once I've gone to docs.google.com/forms. Click on the plus. It gives me a new form, and we're going to fill that out. We're going to do it together so you can see that it's really not that hard. Now I'm going to do the very simple basic version. You can customize this. You can change the colors. If you really want to dig in, you can do all kinds of different complicated things with it. We're just going to go as simple, as basic as possible. Before we start filling out the form and how we want it to look, let's go over to the settings so we can fill out some of the things that are going to be necessary for you to make this possible to give out the link to people. So the first thing it's going to ask you is make this quiz, leave it alone. The answer is no. The responses. Okay, so you are going to collect their email address because if you have a digital version of your comic, you need the email address. It'll say by default verified. You don't want verified. Verified means it's going to be like another Gmail account or something from a domain hoster that Google has registered for. You don't want that. You want them to do responder input. That'll give them a field where they can fill out and they'll put in their email address because you never know what kind of email people are using. So you want to make sure you give them the options to use every kind of email possible. Send a responder a copy of the response. The answer is yes. We want to kind of keep it above board and very transparent. Allow responsive editing. No, leave that off. You don't want them to change it after they've done it because that'll screw things up. Restrict users in self or trusted organizations. The answer, you want to switch that to no, because that means that only the people who are part of your domain can fill out the form. We want this form open to everybody. So take that off, switch it to no. A limit to one response. The answer is yes. You don't want them making copies and creating duplicates that are going to throw you off. Under presentation, pretty much all the defaults are okay. Let's see, show link, show progress bar, no, show shuffle question order, no, confirmation message. Now, when they fill out the form and they submit it, they'll get this message. You can edit that and get fancy saying thank you and make it personal. We're not going to do that here. We're just going to keep it simple and basic. Show link to submit another response. Also no, because we want to avoid duplicates. View the summary, yes, and disable autosave, yes. Okay, we'll just leave those the way they are. Form defaults, yes, and yes. Okay, so that's good. So if you've walked through that pretty quick, and that took what, a minute, 2 minutes, that's all you need. So let's go back to the questions tab right up here up top. Now let's say we have a comic, and the comic is, I'm making something up. Let's call it Awesome Man #1. So we're just going to call it Order Awesome Man #1. That's it. Here's the field where they're going to put in their email address. And then we're going to say down below, we're going to choose the minimum number of questions that they need to answer. Really, the two questions they need to answer is, how many do you want? What the agreed upon price? And if you're doing physical copies, I need your address. So the first question is, how many copies do you want? Oh, change that. Oh, there we go. Make that really simple, really easy. Change this to short answer, right? So they're going to put in a number here and leave it as required. So that's it. How many copies do you want? If they want 1, they get 1. If they want 5, they get 5. And then once you're done with that question, we're going to click on the plus here over to the right. And I'll add a new question. If for physical copies, where do you want it shipped? Oop, spelling, got to fix that out. We're going to make this a paragraph field to make it a little bit longer, because they're going to put in their physical address or a PO box or wherever you're going to put it. And then that is going to where they're going to put in their address required. And that's it. All you need to do is have their email address, how many copies do they want, and maybe for how many copies what they want, you can put in the price at $4.99 each. If you want to get a little bit fancier, just to kind of make it more complete. And that's it. You're done. All you have to do then is when you want to give this out to people, you go up here to the top where you have the send button. And for send via, it gives you an email address. There's an embed link if you want to put it on a website. The one you want is this symbol right in here in the middle, which means give me a link to this form. Now, here's the long version of it. Some people want the shorter version of it if you want to put it out on social media. It gives you a short copy of that link. You copy and paste that link, put it in a Word document, put it in a Notepad document, write it down, paste it somewhere. But all you have to do is now on your social media, in your emails, if you have a website and you want to give out that form, all you do is you copy that link and you put it where you want people to see it, or how you want to hand it out to people. If you want to text them with it, if you want to email, whatever. And when you do that and they click on that link, they come right to this form. They put in their email address, how many copies do they want at the right price, and put in their physical address if they're going to ship them a physical copy, and that's it. Pretty simple. Now, what happens is when they fill out that form and they get a confirmation, if you go up to this middle section right here, responses, what it'll do is it'll start listing out every time somebody places an order. So what you'll do is you'll get a notification and you just check back on this list periodically. It'll show you, hey, somebody ordered a copy of Awesome Man #1. I need to send them an invoice to buy it. So that's where you go over to part 2. Okay, so we're done with part 1. That was pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. It was only a few minutes. So let's go over to the second part where we go back. Well, let me go back to send a request. So we go into our PayPal account and make sure, again, it's a business account. So if you want to, where is it? Send an invoice. So what you do is you go into your PayPal account and you send back to invoices. Sorry about that. So you'll come to this screen where it says create an invoice. You click on the invoice button. And then what you do is you fill it out with the information that they submitted in the form in this section. Their email address, you put that right here. You list out, oh, I'm ordering Awesome Man number one, spelling, quantities, price, put all the information there. And if you want to write a nice note, you want to do something descriptive, whatever you want to do. And it'll give you all the information about the invoice number, when you sent it, and all the things that are included in the price. And then once you're done, you hit send. That's it. Now, what happens next is they will get an invoice in their email. They click on the link that PayPal sends them, and they submit their credit card information, or they pay it with their own PayPal account, or however they pay for it. And then once you get that notification back, you take that same email address that they gave you, and then you send them an email with the PDF saying, here you go, and you're all done. Or if they ask for a physical copy, you put it in the mail to the address that they put in the form, which will be listed right here. If you want to get fancy, you can create a Google Sheet, which is basically Excel, Google's version of Excel, and they'll put that in there too. And then you send it there as well. The reason this is kind of a nice, simple system is A, it gets the information they need pretty quickly. B, if you're saving the responses here, or you're saving it in a Sheets document, now you're building with that thing they call an email list, which is good because now you have an email list of customers where maybe you can contact them in the future saying, hey, Awesome Man number 2 is out. Would you like Awesome Man number 2 or number 3? Or now we have a graphic novel. So now you can recontact them to let them know that, hey, you have more stuff if they liked it. And you can and you can send them notifications. And all you have to do is go into PayPal saying, give me a new invoice, send them the invoice if they ask for it, and you're good to go. Simple, right? Straightforward, right? Everything here is free. Everything is straightforward. There's nothing complicated about what you have to do. You don't have to learn a new platform. And the form that you have to create is literally just 1, 2, 3 sections and a couple of setting slots. Now, if you want to get fancy, you want to customize the colors, you want to do fancy borders, or you want to send them like a customized email, a notification that says, hey, you filled this out, and maybe make it more personalized. You can do all those things. But at the very least, at the very basic minimum, this is all you need to do to create a payment system where you can sell your comic. And all you have to do is give people this link right here. That's it. So I hope this has been helpful. I know that a lot of people trying to get you to use different systems, different payment programs, and you have to learn all this complicated code. You don't. You need a PayPal account and you need a Gmail account, and everything else related to that is free. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions about that, I'm going to put some information down in the show notes, but feel free to reach out to me on social media or contact me via, this is going to get posted on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let me know if this was helpful for you, or what other bits of information you want to see, or how we can do different things, or how we can expand this and maybe make it more complex or more interesting. But hopefully this is it. And there's no excuse. If you have an indie comic and you just don't know how to go through all the overwhelming trauma of how to send it, this is it. And this is as simple as it gets. It's rudimentary. It's very basic. And there's going to be some manual work and checking the emails and making sure everything's correct, and then sending out the invoices. You have to do manual work. It's not automated, but it'll get you where you need to go, and it'll ensure that you're capturing that email address, which is part of the all-important email list. So that's it. Again, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And this is Gabe Hernandez signing off. Thank you very much. You have a great day.